Hi everyone, this is your 225-425 Running Crew Syllabus Guide. I know this syllabus is a little intimidating because it's pretty long, but I was just trying to put as much information in there as I could to make things as clear as I can. First, I want you to go ahead and go to View, Show Document Outline. When you click on that, you're going to see an outline. I try and use the headings that are preset headings in my Google Docs so that it's easy for you to navigate. So let's say you have a question about the crew assignment process. Go ahead and click that. It jumps you down to page 5, so you don't have to look for that heading. It just automatically takes you there. So this is a really easy way for you to answer some of your questions, maybe on the syllabus quiz if you got something wrong. So I want you to look here. Here's the information about me, how to make an appointment. I really do want to meet with all of you. I just need you to be prepared when you come to see me and respect the fact that I'm really, really busy. And as much as I really do want to teach you things and spend one-on-one time with you, I have a finite amount of time in the day to draft, to work on the professional shows, to work on the PLU shows, to be preparing for our classes, and so on and so forth, meetings, you know how it is. Next, I really need you all to check your email once a day, maximum every other day, because there's a lot of really important information coming at you from Sakai and from your stage manager, and you need to be on top of that. And I know that you get a lot of emails, especially at the start of school. Just try and prioritize your class emails and any emails that may be coming from your production assignment. Next, don't forget, we have a mandatory class meeting on Friday, September 20th at 10:30. Just another plug, don't forget. And that's also the last day to drop a class by the end of business hours. We've got a lot of information here. Make sure you wear appropriate clothing. Here's the description of the course catalog. Here's the course philosophy. The reason why we do this is a theater lab, right? It's just like you have labs for the sciences. You can't be a theater practitioner without doing it. So that's why we have this class. Logistical notes. There's information here about the fact that, no, I'm sorry, but you can only get practicum credit for working on spotlight shows, not student shows. And in fact, the spotlight shows have priority over student shows. We value our student work. Man, I've seen some really incredible stuff done here, and the students are innovative and incredible, and I'll do everything I can to support student productions. But there has to be a hierarchy for our department to work, so just keep that in mind. Then we've got production assignments, so this has a lot of information about things that you could be in this class or some future version of this class. So here's all the information about roles. Generally, the Cliff Notes is running crew has to be there for all of the technical rehearsals and all of the performances, and they have to be there consistently because we're working as a team, as a collaborative group to make sure that everything happens consistently on stage every night in relatively the same ways. And if one person's missing, that whole thing comes apart. So that's why we have to be sticklers about your constant, unwavering attendance. Next, we have production crew roles. This breaks down to mostly electricians, painters, props people, and sometimes assistant designers, but assistant designers are chosen in the spring every year, so please apply. You can work with me or some of the other designers and learn a little bit more about what that's all about. For production crew roles, there's going to be a timesheet. We're going to try this out, see if it works. Maybe it doesn't. We'll find out. Because that keeps things a little fairer for the people who need to be at specific times constantly. It keeps everyone honest. And to make sure that we're getting the work done that we need and you're doing the learning you need to do. The crew assignment process is going to have several steps. So first you're going to take the syllabus quiz, which is due Wednesday, right? Then you're going to fill out a preference expression survey, and then you're going to sign a crew contract and a contact sheet. So all the information's in there. Please do go back to that course information tab on the Sakai site. which has that stuff really visually laid out for people who need to see it, to know what they need to do. And then we get into grading expectations. So with grading expectations, here's basically the layout. During the career assignment process, I really need you guys to respond, so I assign a lot of points to it because that's a huge part of your grade, right? So if I assign points to it, then I get the information I need to get you all into the positions that hopefully you enjoy being in as best as possible. I can't make everybody happy. I've given up on it. It's fine. Next, there's the performance of your actual crew duties. So really, honestly, if you show up and you have a good attitude and you try to be proactive, you've passed the class, right? If there's issues with you being late constantly or being really late or missing something that you were supposed to be there for, I really put this on you guys. I really have spent a lot of time putting together these contracts. This is just like in the real world, right? If you get hired for a job, nobody's going to call you and make sure that you show up on time. You're just supposed to be there. So once you sign that contract, it's your responsibility to be there. You're not going to get any more reminders. So just please make sure that you put that stuff in your Google Calendar and you pay attention to your Google Calendar. But generally, this is stuff that just makes a good human being, right? Having professionalism and work ethic, attending, showing preparedness and dedication, having a good work ethic, teamwork and collaboration, meaning you have a good attitude about it. Don't groan when someone asks you to do something. Just smile and do it, okay? You don't have to be happy all the time, but, it brings everybody down if one person has a bad attitude. How you're going to be graded. In general, the way this works is that, of course, you show up, but I also want this to be an educational experience. So I have two self-assessments, and it's going to be two different Google forms. So it's essentially the same survey as your running crew survey. And so really, it's just some simple questions. You sort of rank yourself on how much work ethic you thought you had, what your attitude was like. And the bonus thing about this is you are self-reflecting, so you can be as honest as you want. You could say, oh, my attitude was really crappy last week. I really shouldn't have been great. And it's not going to cost you points because what's really important is that you're learning about yourself and that you're improving. Okay, so you've got these two different self-assessments. You just get 15 points for doing it. If you don't do it by the time that it's due, sorry, you lost those points. And then I'm going to go through and I'm going to read what you wrote. And I'm going to talk to your crew heads, the other faculty members, and I'm going to give you a scoring on your preparedness and dedication, your work ethic, and your attitude. Now it's like a 0 to 10. If you get an 8, that means you're doing pretty good, but you may have some room for improvement. And I'll give a little feedback about ways that you could improve. So all of this is staggered by what your position is, partially so that I have time to really get that information to help you learn and grow, and partially based on where you're at in the production cycle, because all of you will be at very different places in the production cycle. So there's information about that. These are when your self-reflections are due. I will be sending that out to you 3 days before it's due. And the reason is they're pretty quick. It doesn't take a long time to do your self-reflection. And because I want you to be doing them in a certain point in the production. So if you just got done with tech, I want you to think about how tech went. And if the show just closed, I want you to reflect on what was different about the run of the show as opposed to tech, right? So that's why the dates are where they're at, for example. And then we've got a lot of specific things having to do with etiquette, using your phone while you're working on productions, expectations of professional behavior, and then all of the really important syllabus stuff that's on every syllabus for a reason, okay? And finally, I have sort of as a footnote how this fits in with the NACE career readiness competencies, which running crew teaches you a lot of. So this is good training for just your professional career, even if it's not in theater. Okay, great. I'll see you on Friday, September 20th at 10:30.